What's up, guys? It's Natasha.
Finn.
And Danny. And we're back with episode 5 of the Budget Banter. We're here with Brene Johnson. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Brene, I'm a junior at LHS, play basketball. That's pretty much it.
What kind of got you into starting basketball originally, like when you were younger?
I mean, my brothers were always athletes, and I was always surrounded by athletics, so I always played a bunch of sports, but basketball was the one that I really held on to.
What about basketball specifically do you think you've attached to?
I don't know. I feel like I've just always played it, so I like the family environment that you get with being on a team in basketball, and I just like it. I don't know. It's just fun.
Did you play any other sports?
My first sport I ever played was football, and I always played with boys. And then my mom made me stop playing, so I had to pick up another sport.
Why'd she make you stop playing?
Because she was scared I was going to get hurt, but I was always bigger than the little boys, so I don't think I was going to get hurt.
Nice.
What position do you play, and what is kind of your philosophy for playing?
I'm a point guard, so that means I kind of facilitate, bring up the ball. I'm kind of like the coach on the court. Philosophy, I don't know.
That was pretty good, yeah. That's good. So I know you've been I'm assuming you probably want to play basketball at the next level. Is that a goal of yours? I know you've been taking some visits. Where all have you kind of visited, and where's offered you? Where have you just kind of, how's that
Also,
college
you're a junior,
recruitment
right?
process been?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're really early in this
Yeah.
process, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty early, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So
that's
I've,
impressive, yeah.
Thank you. I've taken 2 unofficial visits to Emporia State and Wichita State. I have offers from both of them. Yeah,
Nice.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's cool. Are there any is there any schools in specific you're hoping to kind of look at you this coming year, or you kind of just I'm not sure.
I mean, I have a lot of interest, but they've never been I'm giving you a scholarship offer, so it's I wouldn't count it as an offer, but I've talked to a lot of coaches, and then obviously coming from Lawrence and growing up in Lawrence, it's probably every kid's dream to play at KU, so it's always been a dream of mine to play at KU.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I know last year you guys had kind of a big season that changed a lot of things. Can you kind of walk through kind of the end of the regular season into the playoffs from last year?
I mean, in the season, we just it was just a different mindset going from last year to, my freshman year to last year. It was we were just so hungry for every single win. Every point mattered, every defensive stop mattered, and I feel that really carried us into the playoffs. Every play mattered in everybody's mind, and we were all on the same page where we wanted to win. Kind of carried into the games. Each and every game was we all just wanted it, so it was really effortless.
And how far did you guys end up going in the play from?
We got to the first round of state, and then got sent home.
I see.
We're going to that game. They had a spirit bus for it.
Yeah.
So,
How are you guys kind of hoping to? I know you're probably going into basketball tryouts now. That's coming up, I assume.
Yeah, we've got 16 days, I think, something like that.
So how are you kind of hoping that from the success you had last season, how are you kind of hoping to propel that into this season and kind of take another step?
Well, because we lost some really big rolled seniors, I'm hoping that a lot of people will step into those roles. We had Daphne, who's super big on getting rebounds, so I'm hoping somebody will step into those roles. But I think coming off of a good season, we'll come in confident, play hard, which is the best thing in basketball is being confident. So
you mentioned some of the older girls that aren't here anymore at Lawrence High, and how the energy was just different last year. So who were some of those people that were your role models?
I mean, for sure, Amaya Marshall, she was a big role model for me even when I wasn't in high school. I've always looked up to her because we played the same position, and she's always kind of took me under her wing. And then Serenity Keough, Lucy Hardy, and then of course Daphne. So those were those really important seniors this last year. So yeah, they were very important to us.
You kind of mentioned every point mattered, every possession. Can you talk about how you're like hoping to teach some of the newer people that on the team?
Yeah, that's a good question. So like a lot of people when they come into like playing high school basketball, it goes from like middle school basketball where it's really effortless and like, you know, you can kind of do whatever and take a play off. But like when it comes to like this level of basketball, every play matters. So trying to like build that into like newer people's heads is definitely hard because like for me basketball is like my entire life. Like my entire life revolves around pretty much basketball. So like trying to get somebody else to care as much as I do and like be as passionate as I am, it's not always going to be like that, but like to bring that, like make somebody like basketball as much as I do is always kind of a goal for me.
Kind of sharing your passion with them.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some goals for the upcoming season?
I mean, to win as many games as possible, make it back to playing on the Wichita State court, and I mean, just have fun. Like last year's season was so fun. Every game we were like super confident. If we were making shots or not, it was just a fun year. Like, so hope that's.
What was the environment like at Wichita State and kind of like just competing at state? Like how was that?
I mean, in a huge arena like that, you can kind of get like little butterflies in your stomach, but I feel like everybody's adrenaline was kind of up, so it like kind of helped push us through that. But it was a great environment.
Did you kind of like take anything away from those visits that you hadn't like known before, or was there anything you learned there?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the coaching staffs and the people at those schools are like really great. I still talk to them like pretty often, and they're just like really teaching me about myself. Like here, like I'm more of like one of the better players, so like I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm held to like a different standard than other people, but they kind of like bring me back to earth where I'm like, you know, it's level, like the playing field is level,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like I still have things that I need to work on myself, and this is what's going to take me to that next level. That's like pretty much it.
You mentioned like the coaches and some of that. Who are some adults or specific coaches that have influenced you to come where you are now?
So my AAU coach, his name is Alonzo Williams. He's definitely been a huge like help with my progress. Like my shot, like my shooting ability used to be like actually really bad, and he helped with that a lot. So shout out to that guy. But yeah, so he's been a huge help. Dixon's always been like a super great guy. Yeah, I've had a lot of coaches, so it's hard to think of them off the top of my head. But
Yeah. So, what is kind of, do you think, like, I'm not entirely sure how this all works, but like with like AAU and like travel basketball and then high school basketball, how do like, which one do you think kind of, do they both, or which one kind of helps you more with like recruitment, and like where do coaches see you more and like kind of get that exposure?
I feel like for me, how I view it is like in AAU is when you get noticed, and then during school ball is when they're like, okay, yeah, I really like you. It's like they'll see you play in AAU, and they're like, yeah, she's good, and I'm gonna keep my eye on her. And then that's when like, you know, they watch you during real games when you're like, you know, not playing with like, you know, a bunch of 5 stars or the best people on your team, and you have to face adversity and things like that. So I feel like that's when you kind of get those offers, and you kind of separate yourself from everyone else.
Other than playing with like people from different schools and of different abilities, what is like the biggest difference you think between playing with like a team of like school mates and like friends and like an AAU team?
I think chemistry has a lot to do with it, because you spend like literally like 4 months every single day with people at school. So like your chemistry has to be really good because you're around these people 24/7, and you have the ability to like create better chemistry. So like, yeah, that family environment chemistry is definitely different. And with AAU, it's more of like individual type of stuff. So it's like people care more about what they're getting instead of like the team type of thing. And it just really depends on what team you're on, but that's always been kind of my experience with it.
So to kind of make sure I'm understanding everything. So you said on AAU it kind of helps you get on like the radar of these coaches, and then playing for a school team is where you really get like noticed and like sought after in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely get on people's radars when like you're in the summer, and then kind of. I mean, I got my offers from like them watching me during AAU and like training and stuff. So it's like it really varies, but like most of the times coaches will watch you during your like high school season to see how like, you know, you're 2 months into the season and how well are you staying in shape and those type of things. Like I feel like those are what really keep them interested in you.